You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good Monday morning.
Good morning.
Ooh, that was a little.
Am I?
I don't know what that was.
Am I loud?
I don't know.
Is it the pitch? Good morning.
Oh, wow. The singer over here.
I was singing all weekend, actually. So I'm still singing.
Yes, no, let's not do that. Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our show. Welcome to Table for Five,
Yes.
everyone, where you, the listening and viewing audience, will always have a seat at our table,
Yes.
making this a Table for Five.
Yeah.
Most Mondays.
Yes, most Mondays.
Some today, not really, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Table
We're
for
table
four.
Table for four.
Table for four. We'll
yes,
take it.
yes. We will hope that you will join us every Monday here from 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can watch us live now. I think we're on Facebook Live.
Yes,
We're
we
up
are.
on Facebook Live today.
Yes, we are.
Perfect.
I've got it up and running.
Awesome. Catch us here, LA Talk Radio.
We already have
Website.
views.
We can see. You can see us. We can't really see you. We can see your comments.
Yes.
On Facebook Live.
And if you have questions for today's show, you can shoot them up right now.
Yes. Shoot them up. Don't shoot. Just shoot up the. Shoot
Just
them,
put them
to
up.
us. Oh my God.
Just post them.
Yes. Or you could give us a call here from anywhere, really,
Yes.
wherever you are, wherever you have a telephone, if you have access to a
But
phone.
not while you're driving.
No, they can call where they're driving.
Well,
Yes, you can. Just don't plug in the numbers. I don't know. At a red light, plug them in. But yeah, call from your phone while you're driving, because a lot of people are sitting in traffic. Not today though, because there was no traffic. I have to say, today,
No
I'm so sorry
traffic.
for the rest of the country, because we're in Los Angeles, California,
Yes.
as some of you know, or Sherman Oaks, California. Weather is beautiful. Oh my God, today. Then the weekend was beautiful. I have a little pink shirt on because I
It's
feel like I'm in the
beautiful today.
spring.
It's
I have
beautiful.
flowers that are blooming. Yeah, we think it's springtime, but
Yeah.
it's really winter here in Los Angeles. So beautiful weather, beautiful traffic. Traffic was beautiful coming in today. I use that adjective for traffic, yes, because some
Is
days
that
it's
right?
ugly and nasty. Yes. So if you're stuck in traffic, you can give us a call here. The number to call is 818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085. If you have
Yeah.
questions, you've been getting our newsletters and have some questions for our amazing guest, Dr.
I
Cosette and
know.
White today.
I can't wait to get into today's topic. But
Yes.
also, listen, I don't have my glasses today because they broke.
It's gonna
like
be a real
2 minutes
situation.
before going to air. So I'm going to do my best right now. You can catch us on Facebook Live, of course, and on
yes.
Instagram at Table for Five, on Twitter at Table for Five, and our website if you want to see what we're doing during the week or you want more information on our guests. All the information that you will hear today, our websites, all that, it's like a one-stop shop. It's on
Yep.
www.table-5-5.com.
Yep.
And you can look that up on LA Talk Radio.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
connected
link.
there. There's a link on LA Talk Radio, and
Under our
then
bios.
it could lead you to our website. And also, if you want to catch up on some of the shows that we've done in the past, you can go to our YouTube. We have a Table for Five TV, and so I've seen a lot of people go there and they're watching our shows, which I'm really excited about.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yes, and also when you go on our Facebook,
That sounds so funny.
I know. No,
Sorry.
why? Like and subscribe.
Because all the people that do YouTube stuff, that's like they have this YouTube script where they're
Right.
like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Yeah, you did that
Yeah.
once. You did that once.
know,
Remember
it's
back in the
so
day when we first started,
crazy.
you did like and subscribe.
I
Yes,
know.
it was her voice that you heard at the end of the show.
That's right.
So in any event, if you want to receive any of our newsletters, go to our website and there's like a little email area where you could just put in your email
Yep.
and you can just be part of our newsletters that we send out every week,
Yeah,
letting
let
you
you
know,
know.
who our guests are, and then you can connect with us through our email and our website. And also, if you're interested in advertising, if you have something you want to promote, a book, a product, a show, anything of that matter, also you can go to advertise with us on our website. So our website is a one-stop shop. It's full of information and resources. So don't forget to look there as well.
Yeah, many different advertising options too. Going back to that advertising, yes, it's fun. Come advertise with us.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. It's we'll do our best in doing our best voiceover.
Yes, not like that, but okay.
Not like that. But anyway, we want to just jump in some hot topics because we want to give our guest as much time as we can.
Yes, because today we're talking about the new tax laws.
Yes.
So if you had any questions and you're on Facebook Live, or
Yes.
you can jump on Facebook Live and you didn't have a chance or you didn't receive the email. And going back to the emails real quick, the emails are really good. I know people hate to subscribe to newsletters, but they're actually really good. We don't bombard you with it. We just let you know, like, hey, this is what's coming up on next week's topic if we have a show, because, sometimes, we have lives and things happen and whatever. So yeah, it's a good way
Yes.
to let you know. It's
Yes.
not, we're not going to be like spamming you and bombarding
No.
you
We
with
won't
all
do that. And if you have show ideas for us, I mean, we have some wonderful shows coming up in the next couple of weeks through February. We're really excited. We're actually looking to March for our bookings. So yeah, if you have some great show ideas and you want to hear our opinion, or you want us to get a wonderful guest, let us know what you want us to be talking about, even though we come up with a lot of wonderful ideas.
Yeah, because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot.
And we got a lot to talk about today. So today, this show, if you got the newsletter, it's New Year, New Tax Law. We had Dr. Cosette M. White. I
Yes.
love saying it.
Yes.
I love it. Here back in December.
Yes, right
Yeah, it was
before.
right before.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah, the
before.
last show.
The last show of the year of 2017, and you promised to come back, so thank you so much for
Yes.
being
Welcome.
back.
And can
Let's
I just want to say this really quick. Oh, go ahead.
No, okay, I was going to give her applause, so we are welcoming.
Thank you.
I just want to
Yes,
say this
thank you
really.
for
I
being
said
here.
this off the air to Felicia. I was at a memorial service rehearsal, and this woman came up to me and she said, "I got the book," and I said, "What book?" Like, I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, "I just got the book," and I'm like, and she says, "I ordered the book from your guest," and I didn't even know this. She was watching the show, and she ordered your book.
Okay.
And so I was really happy that someone was watching, and they're like
Yes.
really
Shout
following
out to
through.
all
Shout
of
out to our viewers and
Yes.
people who are watching us. And
Our
she was,
silent viewers.
Yes.
That's okay. You don't have to
Yes.
like us. You don't have to come and interact. It's all good as long as the information is getting out there. And even if you're like yelling at your computer screen or
Yes.
yelling at whatever you're listening
Listen,
or driving in the
Facebook Live
car
is
and
the
saying, "No, I
best."
don't agree with you
I know,
guys.
you guys
Y'all
are crazy.
That's
but,
fine.
But Facebook Live is really cool because I don't have I don't have to say your name. You could actually be anonymous. You could put unknown,
Right.
and you can just leave a comment.
Yeah.
So if there's a comment or a
Right.
question that you have on Facebook Live and you don't want to leave your name, you don't have to. I can just read the comment or the question. So feel free to do that if you're watching.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to congratulate us and Dr. Cosette
Thank you,
on the fact that
Yes.
that last show proved to be successful for someone who was impacted by it. So I'm really happy about that.
Yes. So we're going to jump into a little bit of hot topics. I don't know, are they hot? I think they're on fire. I think they're a big old pile of hot flaming shit.
It's unbelievable.
Topics.
Last week I was on the show and I put up a Time magazine. You remember that?
Yes.
And I was saying
Great
how
article.
Great,
Yes.
wonderful how Bill Gates did this whole editorial publication for Time magazine, and it was on being an optimist, and it was great. All the articles were wonderful, but how do we stay optimistic when we have a leader that chooses he chooses. It's not like someone's feeding him a script. He chooses
that's true.
to speak in these terms and of people. And so his language this past week has been heard around the world, which has been just
I would say the universe.
devastating.
If there are aliens out there, which I know there are, I'm sure they heard it too. And y'all can come for him anytime you want to. Yes, I do believe in aliens. Come get this man
Yeah.
off this planet.
Yeah,
Take
it
him
is-
someplace else and do something else with him.
Every time he says or tweets something, you go, oh, that's just who he is. Like, oh, whatever. But now it's getting to the point where this is not good. This is not good.
It's
It's not
beyond-
healthy.
it's
It's like
disgusting.
he keeps topping himself in disgracefulness.
Yes.
And it's really, I was telling to Felicia earlier, I said I was crying yesterday at church. I was really, really moved because we were honoring Martin Luther King. Our pastor was, honoring the upcoming holiday. And I go to a church that's incredibly multicultural, racial.
diverse.
And I'm sitting in my seat and I'm looking around. And I literally started crying because I said, this is what our world looks like.
Right.
And how could we think that where they come from is any less than where that other person comes from.
Yeah.
Excuse
No,
me.
his comments do not, for sure, they don't reflect me as a person. And I would speak for a lot of people
Yes.
in this country that the comments that he made on Friday, was it Thursday or Friday, do not reflect the majority of the people in this great nation. And I'm not like super duper, a patriot. I mean, I am patriotic, but I'm not like one of those, I'm not going to carry around an American flag and put it on my car type of person. But his comments made me feel like I wanted to go and do that because he doesn't represent us.
No.
And if he is representing anyone in America, I do think it is pockets of people that he is speaking to, and I do believe that racism is alive and healthy and well in this country. But I feel like there are so many more good people out there that we have to be able to combat it.
Yeah.
And we need all the other people who don't believe in that to stand up and rise up against that.
Yeah.
And what better day to start
Than
if you want to
today.
do that than today? When we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy and what he stood for and the movement that he started was so important, and we still have so much more work to do. When you have people like Number 45 that come along and say such disruptive things, it's absolutely disgusting, and it takes away so much from this great America and this great nation that we have, and it makes us look really bad to the rest of the world. And again, I will say that he does not represent me. He doesn't represent my family. He doesn't represent the people that I know, the people that I call friends. And I think it's just disgusting.
Yeah, I
need the aliens to come get him.
Yeah. Listen, I just think that for a day like today where we're remembering Martin Luther King and all that he stood for and his movement, I think that instead of fighting, the people that need to fight this current person that's in office, because I can't even call him a president. He's a president strictly because he was elected, but he's not a president by title.
He's not presidential
or anything.
No,
he doesn't carry the respect of the office. So to call him the president is very hard for me.
Yes.
So
because he has not put out respect, so
Right.
I can't, or he has put out nothing but disrespect.
Right.
So it's very hard for me then to give him respect,
Right.
because people say, well, you can not agree with him, and you still have to be respectful to him.
No,
and I get that, and I was doing that. I was calling him the president because he was an elected official and he was the president of the United States. I was, but when you start saying crazy shit out of your mouth, then I'm done with you. I can't anymore.
Yeah, I
can't.
think he's topping himself. I don't know how he can top himself on this, but I'm sure he'll find a way.
Yes, he
but
will.
what I wanted to say is that the people, people are in an uproar, and I get it. But we, instead of fighting him, because we can elect him out of office, that's our power. But we, instead of fighting him, we can, if we just stop.
I think enough people have to understand that he's dangerous. He's dangerous for this
I think
country.
they're figuring that out now that since they put him in office. What I was going to say is instead of fighting him, we should love each other. We should stop the craziness and find where you can serve the folks that normally you wouldn't have served, or you can embrace a community that you would never have embraced, that you can tell somebody, listen, I'm with you. I'm not with him. I'm with you. And if we get a big enough group of people to stand up and go, okay, just like the women's movement that's coming up, right?
Yes.
We're all showing up for that
March.
because we believe that we have to always be counted, and we're not invisible. And so just like that, we have to do that with the people that we would never, ever really socialize with, and just step outside of the box and break that mold that we created, or that, so the people that have to be in uproar against this man is the people that are in Congress, the people that are in Senate,
our other elected officials.
And someone said, I don't know if it was on the show or where they said that we need to focus on the lower branch, because we have the power in that. We have the power to elect the people that will elect and support this man. We have the power to decide, okay, this councilman or this congressman or the senator in our district, who is he going to support when he goes into Senate. So we have to pay attention to that
and make it known. Make it known to the people who you're going to vote for. Your city. Even at the city council level. And listen, if you have the gumption to do it, run for city council. You know, like it's not really something that I ever thought about, but in this time, yes, I know we're going to get her elected. In this time, I'm like, you need to, I don't know, just do whatever you can
We have to wake
make
up.
up
Yeah.
your voice and make it stand out. And to the people who are out there that are still supporting him, this is what I want to say to you. Please just look at his track record, and please look at the things that he is doing and saying and how it is affecting. Don't be so closed-minded. Don't be so in your family, on your street, in your neighborhood, in your city, in your suburb, in your state. Go a little bit bigger. Look outside of the box, because the things that he's saying are global, and they're affecting people worldwide and people here in America. I mean, let's just talk really quickly, briefly about what happened in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That was devastating. Can you imagine getting a notification on your telephone? Because we all get Amber Alerts, and we all see the little things on the TV saying that you're going to die.
Yeah.
You got like,
That
I don't
was
know, maybe
terrifying.
10 minutes. People were, let's just think about that for a minute, because, you know, here on the mainland, we're not getting like the hardcore reports that the people on the islands, you know, were getting, because there were people like putting their children in manholes because they were afraid, in storm drains. When you lower your child into a manhole because you think, okay, baby, let me put you in here because maybe you'll have a better chance of surviving, that is absolutely devastating. And as a mother, as a person, I can't imagine going through that, or the horror that those people felt on the island when you get a thing like that. And then it took the length of time, which now we can go back and say, okay, yes, I get that, but that had to have been the longest 38 minutes in those people's lives. And to me, this is a direct reflection. People will say this has nothing to do with Trump. It absolutely has everything to do with Trump, because the people would not have believed it was so serious had all of this foolishness
rhetoric
not been happening with North Korea. And so wake up. You have to be able to say, you know what? Yes, I voted for him. I thought he was going to do this. I thought he was going to be this. And you know what? It's turning out that maybe it wasn't. So you need to wake up. Please do something to rectify this situation, because this is a detriment. Our country is going to be in a real danger and a real shambles if we don't.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, I'm going to say those who voted for Donald Trump will stand with Donald Trump. They're not going to change their mind. His behavior, his rhetoric.
Well, I'm pleading them right now to not take away your pride and just and.
But they voted for him because of the way he is. Because this is nothing new.
This is like extra. This is too much. Like, even if you thought, okay, he's going to go in there, he's going to shake things up, and he's got gumption, and he doesn't care, and blah, blah, this is too much.
Yeah, well,
the cup is running over.
Right.
It's overflow.
It's over. Yeah, but
it's too much.
They knew his family was racist. They knew he was a racist. This is not new. This is not new information.
Sure, but I don't think that they thought that his racist ways, maybe, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving you all the benefit of the doubt out there, that you didn't think it was going to bleed over so much. That you thought maybe it would contain, or he would be able to contain himself. But he is proving to you that he is now not capable of doing that. So you have then an obligation to change it.
No, I don't think that's on them. They voted no, because he showed his colors during the campaign. There was so much stuff that came out that proved that the character of this man was not good, that he was not a man of integrity. So none of this surprises them. They're like, we don't care about that. We want him to pass legislation. We want him, because they had
I have to believe that people are not that awful.
Oh, yes, they are.
There are some awful people, but I have to believe that there are majority of the people who voted for him are not that awful.
I've lost friends over this, and you know this.
Yeah.
I've lost friends over this because
Are they awful people? Or do you think they're awful people now?
They're awful people now. And I would say that out loud.
I feel like if you're still supporting him to this day,
absolutely, and
then
they
yes,
are.
you are an
because
awful person.
their only concern is that a Republican agenda gets moved
Yes, but at a
forward.
certain point, you have to say enough is enough.
Yeah, no.
It becomes.
But it's not affecting-
Because I don't want to equate being a Republican with being a racist. I do equate at this point in time a Trump supporter as being a racist.
Right. But see,
I'm
this
just
is-
going to
but
say it. I'm
see-
going to put it out there. So if you have anything different to say and you want to prove to me that you're not a racist at this point, that's what you're going to have to do. Because I
Right.
feel like if you are still toting for him, then I say to you, prove to me how you're not a racist. That's just as simple as that.
Yeah. Well, I think Trump supporters are Trump supporters. I don't think that this is going to matter to them at all.
But they have to wake up and they have to come to the other
This
side.
this is only mattering. Is that a word? This
Bigly?
only matters. I think I just made up a word. Look that up. This only matters for the people in Congress and in the Senate. That's the only people it matters to. His rhetoric
Yeah.
and the Trump supporters, the people like regular people like us, they're like, yes, that's what we wanted. Somebody that will talk, blah 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 blah. That's what they wanted.
Okay, well, we
So-
got to change those people's minds.
I know. Well, listen, we don't
So,
want to beat
yep,
a dead
yeah.
horse here because we got to move on.
Yes.
So listen, but what he did was a hot mess, and we don't agree.
It was disgusting, and and so today's topic,
Yes.
the new tax law,
But he
is also something that this new administration, this new government is passing, and we are going to jump right into that because
Yes.
it is now fully gone through.
It
Correct.
is fully gone through.
It is fully gone
It is
through.
in effect as of January 1, 2018.
Yes, it is all the way
All
for
the
really
way.
real.
okay, but we
Yes.
want to introduce our guest
Yes.
properly.
Yes.
And so, okay, you have to read this because I don't have my
Yes.
glasses.
Please give a warm welcome. I'm gonna give you a little
to our.
to our very special in-house, our own resident expert, Dr. Cosette M. White. She is an acclaimed best-selling author, nationally recognized finance and tax strategist, international speaker, and philanthropist. White has been coined the financial physician. I love that because you are a doctor. I'm going to say Dr. Cosette M. White the whole entire show. She'll diagnose and prescribe the right financial prescription for boosting your financial health. Dr. White is the founder and CEO of My Financial Home Enterprises, a global financial consultancy firm providing comprehensive accounting, tax, and financial management services for businesses and individuals located in Oxnard, California. Dr. White's advice has been called upon by ABC and Fox television stations. She has been featured on numerous radio shows, a reoccurring voice to millions, making regular appearances in various national media outlets, including Black Enterprise, Forbes, Women of Wealth, Upscale, The Huffington Post, and countless newspapers across the country. Women of Wealth dubbed Dr. White, Wealth Builders Extraordinaire. Fantastic. Recently, Dr. White was awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award by President Barack Obama.
We miss you, Mr. President.
That deserves a really quick
Yeah.
applause. As the author of Attracting the Best, Wealth, Prosperity, and Abundance in Your Life Now, Dr. White frequently travels across the country to speak or lead training workshops. If you want to contact her to tell her how fabulous she is or to set up an appointment, you can contact her by phone, area code 805-983-1151, or her website. And do you feel like this is the best website?
That's the best
one-stop
website.
website would be www.myfinancialhome.com. One word, www.myfinancialhome.com.
And that'll be on our website and
Yes.
on our LA Talk Radio and all
Absolutely.
of our social media links. So you'll get to
Yes. So
be
you
able to
can
you'll
get-
find her.
go to that website and get all information connected, and then there's links on that website to all of your other
Yes, to the
the
tax as well as,
book and-
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You'll be able to locate me.
So we have
So-
Cosette here today to kind of, explain to us now that the new tax law has passed. It's kind of is in effect immediately in certain.
It's actually in effect.
Or is
it
it?
went into effect January 1.
So
Oh,
what does that
wow.
mean, though? Does that mean that when we go to file our taxes right now that are going to be due April 2018, that these laws are affecting that, or no? They don't. We don't have to
No.
worry about it
We don't-
until
No,
next
when you,
tax year.
when you go see your tax preparer, for those of you out there, the new laws that went into effect as of January 1, 2018, those do not impact our 2017 tax return.
Okay.
That was the misconception, when it first came out the
Right.
first couple of days
Right,
and whatnot.
right.
But once that 195-page law was published.
Did you read
presented
all
to
of
us.
it?
I couldn't read all of that. I was in the midst of taking a test as well we have to do certain hours every year. So I was in the midst of doing my hours as well as reading through all the madness. So, but it's a lot to digest, and we still have to continuously digest it because
Right.
we're going to be called to the floor and ask the various questions. So, as I was saying, January 1st is when it actually goes into effect. So we won't see the impact until next year when we go to do our 2018 income tax return.
Gotcha.
Okay.
In 2019.
So, it's a lot to digest. So hopefully you all can just grab a pen, grab some paper, and just kind of take some notes so
I
that
am.
if I don't cover everything, which I know that I won't today, make sure either you reach out to me on social media or make sure when you go sit down with your tax preparer, you have a list of questions that you want
Yes.
to ask them and you get addressed early because as I expressed to everyone, tax planning is critical.
Yep.
So get the questions addressed early in the year so that you can properly plan because we're all going to feel the impact. I don't care if you are a high income earner, if you are a corporation, if you are a sole proprietor, a small business owner, someone that's a homemaker, and maybe you have just a little bit of income. We're all going to feel the impact of the changes.
Okay.
I myself, I did a preliminary for 2018
Oh, you
based on
did.
what I know now. And I'll end up owing. If
In-
everything stayed
in
the same and I didn't
2018.
make any changes,
Or
yes,
2019.
I will end up owing. So just do some planning earlier on.
So are you saying it's a good idea now, as we're preparing to do our taxes for 2017, go in when you're talking to your accountant or your tax preparer, say, what can I do potentially differently, or what might I have to potentially do differently in this coming 12 months that could positively impact me instead of negatively impact me for the year that I'm for 2018, correct?
Exactly.
Because you want to, at least we are getting the positive, my silver lining in it is that you're getting 12 months essentially, or 11 months to try to figure it out. So you're not like at the end or in December or in January of next year saying, oh my God, I wish I would have known
Right.
this. I wish I could have done something differently in this year. So this is going to be critical and crucial for
Right.
everyone out there. Get it and understand it. So it's almost like you have to do 2 years in advance, which I know is a lot, but we got to figure it out.
Yeah, you really do. So it's planning, and that's what I tell everybody
Yeah.
all the time. So as we jump into, you want me to jump
Yeah,
into
go right ahead,
and jump
please.
into.
Yes.
Let's talk about the tax brackets, the new tax brackets,
Yes.
because that's a hot thing, and everyone's kind of curious as to how is it going to impact them. So I just want to go through them really briefly so that you have a better, clearer understanding as to truly what's going on. Somebody may say, well, I'm in a tax bracket that's 25%. Does that really mean that I'm going to be paying 25% on all the taxes that I make? No, that's not the assumption. So let me just kind of break it down to you. I wish I had something visual because I'm
I
truly
know.
a visual person. But right now, the tax rates, they fall 10%, 15%, 25%, 28, 33, 35, and 39.6%.
That's a lot of percent.
That's what we're paying. Those are the tax brackets right now. When you go to file your tax return for 2017, ask your preparer, what tax bracket do I fall into? He or she should be able to give you that number once everything is in.
Or isn't it based on your income?
It is based on your income.
right.
But they should still be able to. It's based on your income, but it's also once they deduct everything, once
Yeah.
they take all the
Oh, okay.
deductions out. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
actually your adjusted gross income.
Oh, so it's
what
based
we're
on your
looking at.
adjusted. Okay.
So then the tax rates for 2018 are 10%, 12%. So that 12% is reduced by 3%,
Okay.
22%, 24, 32, 35, and 37%. So as you can see, the tax rates have reduced a little, not a lot, but every taxpayer will see some type of benefit from it. If you are a lower wage earner, you will still see the benefit. The mid income wage earners, they're going to see the greater benefit, and of course, those that are in the 500K or more, household income, they're definitely going to see a greater impact. And let me just throw some numbers out there
Oh,
for you.
okay.
So hypothetically speaking, let's say you made 32K.
$32,000
You're only going to
a
see
year.
maybe about a $870 variance, an increase in your tax break.
Okay.
But if you are a higher wage earner, say 500K or above, you can see anywhere from a $21,000 tax savings. So that's where when we say the higher earned wage earners will definitely benefit from
more.
the new tax law.
And why is
versus
that?
the
Yeah, I was going to say what.
that's just how they put the
That's how the
tax
math works.
plan together. They made it such to look like it was going to help all consumers, all taxpayers,
Right.
when in theory it really isn't. It's going to help those that are higher wage earners as well as the corporations. And let's keep this in mind. This is only a temporary
Right. For
shift.
the people, for the individual.
For the
correct?
individuals. It's going to be in effect for about 8 years. So in 2025, it will expire, and that's only for individuals. So again, this new law was made to benefit the corporations. The corporations, they will stay at that 21%. So their tax
there's
rate
no
is
limit.
dropping from 35% to 21%. And that's a permanent
Wow.
adjustment.
Permanent.
Wow.
Let's let that resonate for a second, okay? Just think about that
Wow.
for a second, okay? What benefit is it to the people who wrote these laws for it to expire as an individual in 8 years? Because what they think, maybe we can come up with a better way to help them in 8 years. And what benefit is it to them to keep it as a never expiration date for the corporations?
Well, my thought and my theory on it is, when you think about it, in 8 years, the economy will probably be a lot worse off. At that point, what they're going to do is go in and revisit what they've put in place, come up with new tax laws that supposedly will help the
us.
taxpayers, but in theory, they really won't.
Wow.
That's my really,
So it's kind of like their built-in way to screw us even more.
yeah.
Great.
Because then they'll put in new tax
Thanks.
laws probably to help the corporations again.
Even though they're already
Even though it's all about the corporations. It's all about. So for those of you that are business owners or even thinking about establishing a business,
Go get yourself a
now's
business
the time
right
for
now.
you to really consider how to structure that business. Okay, something to think about, how to structure that business. Now, they did pass laws, a law that will help the small business owners, the S corps, the C corps, the S corps, the LLCs, the partnerships, and that's the pass through. Okay,
pass through.
the pass through,
Interesting word.
and that's where you will see a 20 you will be paying 20% on taxes, and that's only through the pass through. And let me just kind of explain what that means, because
Yeah.
I always have people ask me, well, what does that pass through really mean? Let's say you are a wage earner, meaning you have a JOB, you go to work, you get a W-2.
Okay.
And let's say you have a gig over here and you are making money. Let's say you made $150K from that gig over here.
Okay.
The taxes that you would be paying over here are a pass-through, meaning they're going to pass through to your personal return, meaning it will reduce your taxable income just on those wages
From the W-2.
just on the earnings. Let me not say wages, on the earnings from the
Cool.
gig. The
Is that a
business.
1099?
Well,
It could be a 1099. It could be anything.
it could be anything, because if you have a business over here, you can get, someone can send you a 1099. It's your revenue that you make, so it's your sales, it's everything, less your
Okay.
expenses, whatever that bottom line falls out to be. And I'm going to use 150K. So you're going to pay taxes on 150K. But because it's a pass through, and that's the key word, a pass through, it's passing through, it's incorporated into your personal tax return. You're paying 20% on those.
Combined together?
No, just what the business does.
So then what happens to your W-2 wages?
It's a consolidated, it's a personal return, it's consolidated, so no matter what, you're still going to come up with these tax rates that I just showed you or that I just went over. You're still going to fall into one of those categories. So no matter what, you're going to, in theory, fall into this category. And I hope I'm explaining that correctly to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused with the pass-through. So if you have a business and you have a personal...
A LLC, a sole proprietor, or an S corp. We're not talking about a C corp, because a C corp is totally different.
An
Okay.
S corp. Okay, so let's do. I think. What do we have, Robert?
Lord, we're doing her personal stuff.
No. I just. So when you say a pass through, don't you report revenue on a business different?
You do a Schedule C. If you are an LLC, an LLC, sole proprietor, then you're, or a partner, not even a partnership, but an LLC or sole proprietor, you're doing a form Schedule C. That's already on your tax return. If
okay.
you're doing a C Corp, you're doing another form. And if you're doing an S Corp, of course, you're doing another form. And a partnership, then you're doing another form.
Okay.
But a S Corp and a partnership, you will end up with a Schedule K. That Schedule K is a pass-through to your personal return.
Got it. Got it.
So you're probably an S Corp partnership, probably not an LLC.
No,
Yeah.
that I know for sure.
Yeah.
Nor is it a partnership.
Okay.
So let's get back to the W-2, so you gave us a number of 150. Say you said you have a gig over here and you're making 150. How much
Yes.
are you making potentially at your regular job?
You could be making $75K. You
Okay.
could be making $50K.
So let's say 75,000 you're making here, and then you're a comedian or somebody that's working. And
your
you've-
taxable income over there was 150K.
So you've done. Maybe you should
225.
quit this other job. But anyways.
Exactly.
Okay, so now you have these two different incomes. So then, do you combine these incomes and then you pick the tax bracket, or are you saying that you combine them, you take 20% off, and that's your tax
No, you're
bracket?
doing, if you are an LLC or a sole proprietor, it's one return, but within that return, it's another schedule. So you're doing a Schedule C for your business return.
Okay.
That Schedule C is already incorporated into the 1040.
Okay.
You'll have one specific line item on the 1040 that will carry that over.
Okay.
So that 150 will roll over to page 1 of your 1040.
So in essence, is this bill going to help an individual like that? Because how does it differ from how it is right now? You don't have that benefit of the pass through.
You do have the benefit of the pass through, but they're reducing the tax bracket to 20%.
What is it now?
And that's a good question. I knew that's what you were. I don't know what it is, but it's a reduction.
It is a
yes,
reduction.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's ask a
Great.
couple of
It
more
said S corp.
questions. Yeah, yes. I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
So let's talk about that. If he is an S corp, it's still a pass through, but he's going to pass through a K1. You're filling out a K. You'll get a K1, and that K1 is incorporated into your personal return.
Correct. Okay, so home ownership, a lot of here in California, people are going to get hit because home ownership is very expensive here. I mean, the average home is about $500,000.
Right.
I know the tax issue is for $750,000 or more.
Yes.
So, and there are a lot of homes, unfortunately,
Yeah.
whether they're valued at that or not, that are in that bracket. So,
Right.
explain how the tax law affects home ownership.
Yeah, a couple of things on that. I'm going to start with the interest first.
Okay.
Okay.
Because in some of the states where there's the homes are higher, you have Florida, you have New York, you have California. What I see when I get those returns is the clients typically have they're paying higher interest throughout the year.
Okay.
So
On their loan.
they're paying, on their loan, they're paying higher interest.
What do you
Where in-
consider a high interest rate?
Okay, that's where I'm going.
Okay,
Where
sorry.
in some of the smaller states where the to purchase a home doesn't cost as much, maybe in the South, I see interest rates. Some of them may be $3,000, some of them may be $6,000. Here in California, I see $18,000, $13,000, $21,000, and those are typically homeowners with high interest rate. Okay, so if they're putting a cap
Yeah.
on interest at
Which is
$10K,
$10,000.
$10,000, then that goes to the question of, is home ownership, is it a benefit? Is it a value
Yeah.
with this new law? If we're talking about it from a tax perspective, depending on what state you're in,
Okay.
I always say go for home ownership. But if we're talking about it just from a tax perspective, if you're in a state, one of those states that I just mentioned, and the value of the homes are enormous, so to speak, then you're not benefiting from it.
Yeah.
You're not getting the tax break at
Yeah.
all, because let me just say, let me say I misquoted that. It's the property taxes that has the
Right.
cap, the
Right.
10K.
That's right. The property tax.
But still, the property taxes in itself in the states that I listed are still high property taxes.
Exactly.
I have a client, she paid, I think, close to $9,000 one year. She's in a particular area, but $9,000.
Yeah.
So if you take her property taxes as well as the state taxes that are coming out of her payroll check, she's already met that max.
Yeah.
And what happens if it's over? Like my property taxes,
If it's over,
Are
then you're
over.
just, you don't,
You're
the
just
10 is
screwed.
the max.
You're screwed.
10 is the max.
10 is the max.
You just
And
have to
that's it.
call it a wash.
So if you have a house that's worth $1.5 million, depending on the state, right? Because you can have a house in where does it depend on the state's property tax rate? So like if you have a house that's worth $1 million in California and a house that's worth $1 million in Mississippi, where is it going to give you better benefits?
The house in Mississippi, because the tax rates are probably lower in Mississippi than in California.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it doesn't matter if you max out at 10K on either of those. That's all you can do.
doesn't
You
matter.
can't do more
Across
than
the
10K.
board. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
crazy.
Incredible.
Exactly.
So then that goes to the interest. So then how does the interest on your loan come into play? Because you...
Okay, here's the interest on your loan, and that's why I went to refer. If you purchase a home before December 15th, 2015, homeowners could deduct the interest payments on a home mortgage up to $1 million. If you purchase a home after that time frame and it's over $1 million, then you're still, I think how they're reading is that you're not eligible to write off the equity. Yes. I mean, the interest. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Now keep in mind,
Okay.
as they say, these
I'm
are
so
only
sorry.
temporary. This is part of the temporary
But
category.
that's for 8 years.
And it is for 8 years. It
Te-
is.
but
That's
8
a
years-
long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's a
It's a
long
long
time.
time if you bought your house in 2015, 2016, and you
Well,
say you made enough.
2015, 16, you're okay. If after 2017.
Oh.
After yeah.
Oh, if you bought your house after
If
2017.
you purchase a home, if you purchase a home after December 15, 2017.
2017. Okay, so I'm sorry. If y'all did really well and you bought a really expensive house in 2017, you're really screwed for the next 8 years.
Yeah.
Right. The cap is up to 2016.
That's awful.
That's incredible. Wow. Okay, so another thing that was in this tax reform was the repeal of the Affordable Care Act. What's the benefit behind that? I know I wasn't really clear on that.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Before we get to that question, though,
Uh-huh.
does the question about the loopholes within the states, does that speak more toward to the state tax?
When you say loopholes, what are you referring to?
Because I was listening to the
specifically?
news last week, and they were saying something about the states that have high tax, like California, New York, Florida. The states are now scrambling. Our state is now scrambling to figure out a way to help people or homeowners work in the loophole of getting beyond or getting past that $10,000 cap.
What will probably happen 9 times out of 10 when they say the loophole, because we have a federal law, we have federal laws that we have to abide by in state, and the
Right.
state usually goes with the federal. So whatever
Right.
the federal says, we go hand in hand.
Right.
What they're saying is they're going to come up with some type of law that will there'll be a deduction or some type of credit.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you a clear example.
Okay.
When we get our state refund,
Mm-hmm.
when we go to file our taxes for the next year, we have to pay taxes on that.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not included as income on our state return. So they're probably going to look at some type of
okay.
loophole like that where it'll be a deduction on our state return. That's what the
Okay.
thought process is behind that.
And so your individual state has to look at that, and they have to come up with that, and they have to make
Right.
that provision for you.
Correct.
So will we see potentially people moving, uprooting their families, and changing? Like, okay, it's more beneficial for me to live in a different state than the state that I'm currently in.
That could possibly happen, but I don't see a huge shift in that occurring. I don't really see a huge shift in that occurring. I don't.
Okay.
So when you're going back to the Affordable Care Act repeal, who does that benefit, and why do you think he chose to include that in this tax law?
I think truly that's going to benefit the corporations again.
Oh wow.
I don't think it's going to benefit us as taxpayers. What's going to happen is you're probably going to see less of us who could not afford health care in the beginning. You're still going to see a drop in the number of taxpayers not having health care.
Wow.
So, and again, I was reading this morning, that's only a temporary fix, temporary as well.
Right.
So they're going to go in and rethink that through
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the deductions? I know we itemize for corporate and personal. What is being eliminated? What are people,
Right.
folks who
And how can they change this year?
Right.
Yeah, like
That's a really good question. So let's talk about
out your pen and paper.
deductions first of all. Let's talk about the standard deduction.
standard?
As we know, the standard deduction right now is $6,350. I think that's the number off the top. Yes, $6,350. It's jumping to $12,000 if you are a single individual. If you are a married couple right now, it's $12,700, and it's going to jump to $24,000.
Oh.
Okay, if you're filing head of household, that number right now is $9,580, and it's going to increase to $18,000.
Now, does that depend on your income, or is that just across the
No,
board?
that's just your filing status. So if I file head of household, you file single, and you file married filing jointly, those will be your new standard deduction.
standard
Okay.
deductions.
What's going to happen is, and just off the top, some taxpayers, they itemize. They have to go through and pull out all their property taxes, their mortgage interest, their charitable contributions, medical, dental, vision. They go and they grab all of those receipts. Say they're a single individual, and this year, let's say this year, 2017, they may come up with $11,500.
Right.
That's going to benefit them this year. But next year, 2018, if they go and pull all of those receipts and they come up with $11,500,
Right.
it's not going to benefit them. They might as well just get the standard deduction.
Oh. So it's taking away you having to search.
Right,
and itemize?
and I think last month when we were here, remember we were talking about, they said you can do your tax return on the back of a postcard or whatever.
So that's
kind of their
simplifying.
the concept of simplifying it. But it's really not simplifying. It's going to complicate things for most taxpayers,
Right.
because everyone's afraid of the Internal Revenue Service as it is.
Right.
So it's not simplifying things it's simplifying maybe those that are itemizing.
Right.
Where you won't have to maybe necessarily keep everything for a million years.
Right. But I keep everything, because who's to say
Yeah.
that I won't find an extra $500 if I was single filing, a single
Right.
taxpayer. I may
Right.
find an extra $500. So I keep
Right.
everything to make sure that I go over this threshold to
Right.
get them to maximize my tax return.
Right.
You know.
That makes sense.
So other things that they're taking away from us, they're taking away the tax prep fee. If you itemize, you won't be able to write that fee off anymore.
What?
Yes.
So what does that mean exactly? The tax.
Well,
prep-
let me just say this. If you are a business owner, you can put a portion of that in your business tax return. But if you are one that you don't itemize, or you don't have a business, you don't have a business,
Right.
then you can't write that expense off anymore.
The expense of.
Having your taxes prepared. That's on
What
your
you
schedule.
pay for your
Right.
tax.
That's
And
on your
we-
schedule A.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And
Under
we have
other-
been able to do that up until right now.
Because every little dollar counts. Every little dollar helps.
Thanks.
It
Wow.
helps reduce your taxable income.
Okay, quick question. Where can we find, so somebody who's going, I don't know what to do, is there a website people can find this information?
Oh,
Because this is a
gosh.
lot of
How
information.
can you fish through? I don't think that there's anything simplified.
No, is there a place that you can go, okay, this is what you can deduct? This is, all this information you're giving us.
This is what I'm going to do for everyone that's out there listening.
Please, I'm listening. We're listening.
If you text the word taxes,
Okay.
and I'm going to pull up the numbers so that I'm very clear and no one misses
Oh,
this
text
number.
it right now.
And that's
It is
T as in
area-
Tom,
Uh-huh.
AXES for
Right.
those that can't spell.
Okay.
Text taxes to 805
Mm-hmm.
719
719
7682.
7682.
Okay.
What you will automatically get is a 9-step tax preparation guide. Once you get that guide, you will be on my list. I will email you automatically a guide of all of the changes that went into effect
Fantastic.
effective January 1, 2018. It'll
Okay.
be a list for individuals as well as corporations, and it'll be simplified, not something that you'll have to think through and, have a...
Is that this right
Listen,
here?
it
that
just
you bought?
happened. I just got it.
Okay, see?
It worked.
Yay.
I just got it. Thank you for requesting the 9 steps to tax preparation quick guide. Download your free gift. Folks,
Yes.
do it. It's really
Do it.
important.
Text the word taxes to 805-719.
I'm going to put that on Facebook right now.
7682. Yeah, we'll have it on our, and we'll have it as a link to the website too, and on Facebook.
But there's so
Is
many.
it that what you have brought
No,
right
this
here?
is-
It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
but
she's a
but
professional.
It's simplified.
That's the notes for the
And when
professional.
when you say simplified, it's just
It's more of
instead
a chart. It's
Okay.
yeah, something that you can
Perfect.
really,
Yeah.
really clearly understand.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing-
because it's so much to take in, that you want to, even though we have, we have an accountant that manages that, but you want
Right.
to be informed. You want to know
Right.
what they're doing, and completely understand that, okay, this is what's going to happen. Not right now, but we have to be prepared for,
Right.
and help us get through the year, because it's a lot. We have 2 businesses.
Yes, it's a
and
lot.
and our personal income. So it's a lot to have to manage
Right.
all that information, because I don't want to go in there that
It's a lot.
uninformed.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we touch on some of the other
Yes,
things
yes.
that have
Real quick.
went into effect. Of course, the child tax credit. The
child
tax
tax-
credit
yes.
jumped from $1,000 to $2,000.
Okay, so that's doubled.
Mhm,
How is that going to help?
That'll definitely help the parents that, or anyone, the parents that have kids, because they're going to get more back
Mm-hmm.
on their tax return, their refund.
Is
They'll
that per
definitely-
child?
It's per child.
Per child,
Yes.
okay.
The other thing that actually went into effect is they're taking away the education credit. They kept the student loan interest, but they're taking away the education credit.
Oh,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
really?
so the loans. Who is that going to benefit? Then is that good for parents? Is that good for students? How does
Well,
that work?
I'm gonna tell you what I really see on the student loan interest. It depends on your income level, and sometimes you can phase out. So it really varies. I see people that phase out, and they're like, "Don't I write off my student loan?" Well, we put that information in there, but your income is high, so you don't really get the credit. If you're
Oh, my
single,
God.
usually you don't get it. If you're a highly paid employee, 75K or above, a lot of times I don't see them.
So
getting
if you
that
have
actual credit.
if they still have the student loans, so
And
then
a lot
what?
of people still have their loans.
So then what benefit
Wow.
is it? So then you're saying to me that if you still have student loans, it's not beneficial for you to make a good income, because then you're going to
you can make the good income, but you're not going to benefit you
From
won't
the
benefit
write-up.
from the interest.
Because
You won't
your-
benefit
because
your
your
income
income has
is too
gone-
high. Right.
well, doggone it. That
And
doesn't
you
make
damned
any
if you do,
sense.
and you damned if you don't.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right. That's why you need to start a corporation and take.
So people need to graduate from college, okay, and then you need to start a business.
Mhm.
All right. So these young people that are coming out of school, don't go work for somebody. You go work for yourself. Is that what we're telling
Well, that
people?
would be the ideal. You would hope.
That would be ideal, exactly. But again, once you get out of college, you're not going to start making a significant income
Right.
unless just something happens out of the
These poor
ordinary.
children.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. To
Okay, so let me
cover.
ask you something. Do
Yes.
you recommend, a lot of people who have the one sheet, simple filing, or people do their own income taxes at home. Do you recommend, we still have 1 year that they can get away with doing that. Do you recommend in the new tax laws that take effect for next year that they go see a professional before they do it on their own? Because some people they figure, oh, my taxes, I don't, they simplify it, the 1040A,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Let me just, if you're doing a 1040A,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I am a tax professional, if you're doing a 1040A, you have one W-2,
Right.
2 W-2s. Save yourself some money and read the boxes, read the lines, and do your tax return on your own. And I'm just being really, really, if you just don't feel comfortable, if you're just that afraid, maybe you can't do the math, whatever the problem is, then go to a professional. But save yourself some money, learn in the process of doing it, and do your own. A 1040 easy is really easy.
Okay.
It is really easy.
You know,
so if you
yes.
don't have a lot of deductions, you don't have children,
Well,
you
1040
don't own a
If
home.
you have kids, you can still do
Well, a
it.
1040 EZ is the form where you just basically have a W-2.
Right.
A 1040A goes to the next if you have some type of deductions, if you have the child
Right.
tax credit,
Okay.
Right.
earned income credit, things of that nature.
So say you're a family that owns a home, modest home, living in a state that doesn't have a lot of high tax. You have 2 children, and both parents are working.
if you own a home, then I would definitely seek a tax preparer.
Okay.
But
At
if-
least for this year, anyways, and
Well,
ask
for
the questions
for the year of this new tax.
Well, I'm just saying, like, to them, maybe it's beneficial for them to start this year. And even if it's something that you have been doing on your own, would you say it's good to go this year, have them walk you through it, and then kind of ask questions for the year coming?
Here's what I'm going to say. I always would say go to a professional, unless, like I just said, unless you just have those 1 or 2 W-2s. I think anyone can really do them on their own unless they just don't feel confident or comfortable in doing them. If you own a home or if you have any other type of deductions, the child tax credit, earned income credit, then you may need to seek a professional to get the assistance. This year you want to because you want to know what's my outlook for 2018.
Right.
What am I expecting? What do I need to change or shift this year
Right.
early in the year to make sure that I'm not owing Uncle Sam in 2018
Right.
for
Right.
2018 taxes.
Right.
That's the ultimate goal. You don't want to owe. You could break even.
Right.
You don't want to owe. If you get a
Right.
refund, great, but you don't want to owe or break
Yes,
even.
Right.
Exactly.
And there are things that we can do.
There are definitely things you can do. You can contribute to your 401k. You can
Right.
contribute to, if your employer doesn't offer 401k, maybe set up a traditional Roth, a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. Set those things up and contribute to them. You can write that off as a tax write-off. They haven't taken that away so
Oh,
far.
thank you,
God.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't taken those away from us. So just small incremental changes, shifting for the better so that your next year, your 2018 tax return looks promising.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't even touch on the fact that they're taking away the personal exemption. That's a big, huge hit.
Ugh.
Now, what does that mean?
The personal exemption, I'm a numbers person, so let me just explain it to you like this. If your taxable income was $100K and there's a family of 4, this year you'll have that personal exemption that you'll be able to write off, so you'll be paying taxes on maybe 84, 85K.
Oh, okay.
Next year, because they're taking the personal exemption away, you'll be paying taxes on that $100,000.
Oh, wow. So it's kind of like they're taking, it's not really
Yes.
helping nobody. Because they're taking some things away. They're making it look like they're giving you this.
Right.
Right.
But they're real.
Right.
Stop it.
And if you truly understand how the 1040,
That's frustrating.
what's the credit, what's the refund, then it's truly they're taking it away.
Wow.
They're taking it away.
Yeah, because they want you to stay at that 100,000.
So you're going to pay more taxes on 100K
Yes.
Right.
than
Than you
on
would
84,
not.
85,000. And you're going to fall into a different tax bracket.
Well, okay. So let's see. A silver lining is if you make more money, you might.
No.
Does it matter if
Well-
the individual makes more money, or is it just it doesn't matter? It just matters if you have a corporation.
I was trying to be positive.
No, not necessarily. You can make more money but have a lot of write-offs.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a lot of write-offs in order to.
And I'll give you just a scenario. You can maybe own multiple homes,
So
You know.
invest in real estate.
right?
This
So
year.
that's a business. That's a Schedule
So you have to
E.
show a loss.
Yes.
Yes, losses are really big. I know that.
Yes.
Depreciation.
Yes. I don't know. Isn't that sad?
Yes.
They want that matters on paper.
Yeah. So
And we don't
some
have enough
things-
time in here for me to really explain all of it, but
So we got to have you back.
Yeah,
it
we
does.
gotta. My head is spinning. It's ready to explode. And we
Yes.
didn't touch on the fact that we are doing a millennial contest, right? And for those of you
Yes.
who are listening,
We got
who
2
are
minutes.
watching, I know. We will put this information on our website and we will send it out on our campaign and we will put it on our Insta. What we're doing is we're looking for 2 millennials.
Right.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
wanna explain
You want to
Yeah.
explain it really quick?
Real
We have
quick.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. We're looking for 2 millennials who want to go through a financial fitness boot camp.
Okay, first
Yes.
let's explain what a millennial is. What is a millennial?
A
We're saying
millennial, what's the
ages-
category?
I think
ages
it's like
22
to like 30,
32?
32, 33.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20 to up to age 32. Let's say 32.
Okay.
That's the category. We're looking for anyone who wants to come in and get a full financial makeover. You'll sit
Ooh.
with me for the next 6 weeks. we'll go through money management, we'll go through budgeting, we'll go through retirement, we'll go through savings, we'll go through cash cushion, and we'll go through some other things. Wills, trust, all of it.
Wow.
Even if you are
Oh, my
millennial,
goodness.
okay? Then we're going to
Y'all
take
better
your
get on this.
experience and we're going to bring it on the show, and we're going to have an
Yes.
open conversation
Yes.
on air about your experience, what you went through, what you learned,
Yes.
some of the pitfalls, some of the ups, downs, everything. And it's just going to be, you're opening up to the world.
I think this
Yes.
is really exciting because millennials are making minimum wage, and they're making
Yeah.
if maybe $4 or $5 above minimum
Or they're
wage.
trying to be entrepreneurs.
right, and
So I think
it-
you've got two different
yeah.
aspects.
So I think it'll be really interesting to see
Yes.
how you help them navigate
Yes.
living within a budget.
So you have to be willing
Yeah.
to be an open book.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about it here on the show. You're going to get 6
Yay,
weeks
6
of
weeks.
amazing help
Yes.
from the doctor.
Yes, the
right
money
here.
coach herself.
Y'all better get on this,
Girl,
okay?
If I were a millennial, I'd be
So,
like,
So here's what
tell
you
your friends,
need to
tell
do.
your wife,
Okay.
tell your children.
okay, go ahead.
Either they can put their information in the group, interested in the promo, just put millennial promo and we'll know. And then one of us will connect with you.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to select 2 individuals that I'll let Annette and Felicia select the individuals
Yes.
that I will be working with, and I'll work closely with you over the next 6 weeks.
This
All
is
right?
exciting. I can't wait. That's going to be a fun
awesome.
show.
Yes, it is.
I know.
So we'll have you back in 6 weeks.
In
So get
6
your
weeks.
questions ready, because there might be more questions. Y'all might be losing your mind even
I know.
more. You will have gone to your tax person.
Yes.
Maybe if you can get an appointment, because Lord knows
I got mine. I got mine.
Oh, well, good for you.
Yeah.
I wonder how that happened. Anyways, we are out of time.
Yes, we're out of time, like always. Dr. White, thank you
you.
so much
You are
for
so
joining us
welcome.
again and
Yes.
helping us understand
great.
what the new laws are. But we have a year to kind of, get immersed.
Yes.
But we hope you've been informed, educated, and entertained. Catch us next Monday live. We're going to be talking about the Women's March. Felicia and I
Yes.
will be there, so
We're
join
going
us,
Saturday.
and we'll have some interesting guests there. See you Saturday at the Women's March, and see you Monday live on LA Talk Radio.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.